little fox.
The Wind in the Willows. Episode 8. Toad's Big Idea. Toad was sitting by his boats. He looked up from a map.
Hooray!
Cried Toad. He danced around Mole and Rat.
What are you up to now, Toad?
Asked Rat.
How wonderful!
Cried Toad.
Friends to travel with.
Rat looked a little worried.
You have a nice home,
said Mole shyly.
Finest house on the whole river.
Said Toad.
In the whole world!
Rat winked at Mole.
Toad is always saying that.
Said Rat. Toad giggled.
Oh, Ratty,
he said.
that's just the way I am.
Rat pointed to the pile of boats.
How is your boating going?
Boating?
Cried Toad.
Forget that. It's a waste of time.
What?
Rat said.
Come with me, Rat. Bring your friend.
Said Toad. They all walked to the stable.
There you are.
Toad pointed to a new yellow cart.
The open road. Travel and adventure.
Cried Toad.
Umph.
Rat put his hands in his pockets. Mole stepped into the cart to look. His eyes opened wide with wonder.
Oh, I've got everything inside.
Said Toad.
Beds, a stove, pots, and pans. All the food you could eat.
there's even a bird in a cage,
said Mole.
We start our trip this afternoon.
Shouted Toad. The Wind in the Willows. Episode 9. On the Road. Toad hopped around his new yellow cart.
Toad seems very excited,
Said Mole.
Did he say we are going on a trip?
Asked Rat. Toad stopped in front of them.
Well, I can't go all by myself.
Said Toad.
Forget it.
Said Rat.
But you must see the world.
Cried Toad.
My world is the river.
Said Rat.
Well, a trip might be fun,
Said Mole. Rat frowned and crossed his arms.
We don't have to decide now.
Said Toad.
Lunch is ready.
They all went into the house. They sat down at the dining table. Everything inside was nice and fancy. The food was excellent.
There is nothing like traveling by cart.
Said Toad. Toad spread his map across the table. He pointed at places they could visit.
Every day you see something new.
Toad said.
It sounds so exciting,
Said Mole. Rat looked up from his plate.
Do you really want to go?
He asked Mole. Mole nodded eagerly.
Well, okay.
Said Rat.
Hooray!
Said Toad. They went out to the stable again. Toad tied his gray horse up to the cart. Mole and Rat climbed in. Toad took the reins.
Off we go!
Cried Toad. The Wind in the Willows. Episode 10. Longing for the River. Toad, Mole, and Rat rode in the cart. They were tired and covered in dust. The sun was setting. The sky was pink with the fading light.
Let's stop for the night.
Said Rat.
Yes, let's.
Said Mole.
Wonderful idea.
Said Toad.
I'm hungry.
They stopped the cart and untied the horse. The stars came out in the dark sky. They ate a simple supper under the moon.
Time for bed.
Said Toad. He snuggled under his blanket on the grass.
What a great day.
He said.
So much better than that old river.
Toad closed his eyes and began to snore.
Oh, my river.
Sighed Rat.
I miss it very much.
Mole lay next to Rat. He squeezed Rat's paw.
Rat,
Said Mole.
should we run away tomorrow? We can go home to the river.
No,
Said Rat.
we have to stay with Toad. It would not be safe to leave him.
Mole yawned.
Okay.
Toad's foolish ideas never last long.
Said Rat. Rat was right. Tomorrow, everything would change.
Good night, Mole.
Yawned Rat. But Mole was already fast asleep. The Wind in the Willows. Episode 11. In a Ditch. The stars faded and the sun rose. The dew sparkled on the grass.
Good morning.
Said Rat, waking.
Good morning.
Said Mole. Toad was still sleeping and snoring.
Well,
Said Rat.
there are chores to do.
Mole fed the horse and Rat got the dishes out. Together they collected firewood. Rat started a fire and Mole cooked breakfast. Finally, the smell of coffee woke Toad.
Ah,
Said Toad, stretching.
isn't it great? There are no chores to do on the road.
That's true for people who sleep too late.
Grumbled Rat. But Toad didn't hear him. He was too busy eating.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Cried Toad after breakfast. Mole and Rat got into the cart. Toad tied the horse to the cart, and they started off. The dusty road led through a meadow.
Do you hear that noise?
Asked Toad.
It's coming from behind us.
Said Mole. They all looked. A cloud of dust was coming up fast. Vroom, vroom,
Oh no!
cried Rat.
Look out!
A blast of wind zoomed past. Vroom, vroom! They screamed. The cart tipped and fell over into a ditch. The dust cleared. Ahead, a big, beautiful car raced down the road. The Wind in the Willows. Episode 12, Toad's Dream Car. The yellow cart lay on its side. Pots and pans spilled onto the road. Food was scattered on the grass.
What a complete mess!
Said Mole. Rat jumped up and down.
Crazy drivers!
Shouted Rat.
I'm going to call the police.
Look! The horse has run away!
Said Mole.
The cart has a broken wheel.
Said Rat.
I'll go find the horse.
Said Mole.
I'll clean up this mess.
Said Rat. Toad sat in the road, staring after the car. He had a big smile on his face.
Vroom! Vroom!
Said Toad.
What?
Said Rat.
Vroom! Vroom! Vroom!
Said Toad.
Toad, what's the matter with you?
Said Rat. Toad just sat in the middle of the road.
Vroom! Vroom!
He said. Rat put the broken wheel next to the cart. He found the birdcage on the road. It was upside down.
Poor birdie.
Rat said. Mole returned with the horse.
What's wrong with Toad?
Mole asked.
He's in some kind of dream.
Said Rat.
I wish he would help clean up.
Toad slowly lifted his arm. He pointed at the far-off cloud of dust.
Now that's the real way to travel!
Shouted Toad.
In a car!
The Wind in the Willows. Episode 13. Vroom.
A car!
Shouted Toad.
Of course!
He danced in circles.
I must have one, Vroom! Why have I waited so long?
Help me! Cried the bird in the cage.
You'll be all right.
Said Mole to the bird.
Let's set the cart right.
Said Mole. Rat and Mole tried to push the cart up.
1, 2,
2, 3,
push!
They said. The cart was too heavy.
One more try.
Said Mole.
Toad,
Said Rat.
please help with the cart.
It's just a silly yellow cart.
Said Toad.
Who cares? Soon I will have a car.
What can we do with him?
Asked Mole.
Nothing.
Said Rat.
He found a new interest. He'll be like this for days.
Vroom! Vroom!
Shouted Toad. Rat and Mole decided to leave the cart.
The wheel is broken anyway.
Said Rat.
We'll walk to the next town.
Said Mole. Rat carried the birdcage and Mole led the horse.
Vroom!
Said Toad. He ran to catch up.
Don't worry.
He said cheerfully.
We'll find a stable for the horse. Then we'll take a train home. Zip, zip.
The next day, the riverbank was quiet. Rat and Mole sat fishing by the water. A rabbit ran up.
Did you hear the news?
She said,
Toad has bought a big fancy car.